All right, folks. I'm Dennis Guzik, the old rambling jarhead. Thank you for joining my Be the Ultimate podcast, where it's all about getting the great gouge that'll help you achieve the success that you want in your career. Today, I want to talk about leading people with more experience than you have. So, this is not unusual. A lot of times you're put in a position where you have to lead people who are more experienced in that particular area or older than you as well. And in my case, the first time was when I showed up as a new lieutenant in the artillery battalion. I was assigned to a battery within that battalion and then assigned a firing platoon. So what's a firing platoon is 4 howitzers or cannons and a bunch of trucks and radio gear, and most importantly, about 50 Marines. And a number of those Marines, the senior enlisted folks, the sergeants and staff sergeants, had a lot more experience than I did, and were typically either about my age or older as well. But it was the experience that mattered. And so I had some schooling, but that was about it. And they just were so professional and were so accomplished in what they were doing that I learned a lot. And that's what I want to pass on to you guys here. I think I've come up with about 7 different things that you need to do if you're going to be leading people who are more experienced than you. But you may be out there going, hey, look, I'm not going into the Marine Corps. I'm never going to be a staff sergeant. But this is actually pretty common in the civilian world. How many times have you heard of a foreman, very experienced on the shop floor, working for a manager who might have just got out of college, and because she has a degree, she's in charge, but she's got this foreman working for her? Or what about a junior doctor working with very experienced nurses? I think this comes up a lot more often, and it could be a tricky situation. And I think if you take a look and listen to what I got to tell you here, I think you're going to have a better time, and you will come away much more knowledgeable about your profession, and you'll have a better career. So what should you do? Here's my 7 points. Number 1, be very thankful that you're in that position. This is a great place for your career. You have people with more knowledge than you who can teach you things that you didn't learn in school, and you can walk away from a job like this a much better person in a much better place in your career. Number 2, be respectful. The fact that you're the boss or you have more education, you've been to college, that doesn't mean you can look down on them. Don't ever say, hey, come here, things like that to them. Be respectful, develop a respectful relationship. That doesn't mean you want to be their friend, okay? That's not the way it works in leadership positions. You don't necessarily want to be a friend, but you're not their enemy. You're not the adversary. You're actually an advocate for them. So be respectful, develop a respectful relationship. Very, very important. And then number 3, show your appreciation for them. When the organization does something good because of them, and the boss calls you in because you're in charge and says, hey, great job, Joe, you did a really great job. Be the person who says, thanks, I appreciate it, but really the foreman, Jane over there, she's the one who ran this thing. She's the one who should get the credit. Number 4, listen. They've got a whole lot of things to tell you and a whole lot of knowledge that they can transfer to you. So actively listen when they're talking. Give them a chance to say what they have to say. Sometimes they may be reluctant because you're the boss, or they don't want to necessarily speak up. Make it clear that you want to hear what they have to say. Number 5, get out of the office. All right? Get down onto the shop floor, get down into the maintenance area, whatever it is where people are doing computer coding. Get out of there. Don't be somebody who stays in their office the whole time, working on paperwork, doing things like that. When you're out, you'll see things, hear things, you'll learn things. Get out of the office. Number 6, be very clear about what you want when you're talking with people who are experienced and running things, and you're the boss, so you set what you want. Be very clear, and then let them do it their way. Don't micromanage. So give them a leeway, but make it clear what you expect from them. Okay, number 7, the last one, and this is non-negotiable, okay? No matter what, Always remember, whether it's a team, an organization, project, or whatever, they're more experienced. You are in charge. You're responsible for everything that happens or fails to happen. That's very critical for any leadership position. Okay, so those were 7 points that I think will help you if you're leading people who are more experienced than you. The takeaways from today's podcast: 1, if you're in a situation where you're in charge of people who are more experienced than you, you're fortunate and should take advantage of this to learn and grow your career. 2, it's all about establishing a respectful relationship. All will benefit from that. 3, never forget that you're in charge and you're responsible for everything that happens or fails to happen. Well, folks, that's the end of the Be the Ultimate podcast. Thanks for listening. If you found it useful, please like it, subscribe at dennisguzik.com, and tell your friends about it. And watch next week, where I'll offer more advice on how you can be the ultimate in your career. Bye.